Hey guys, good to see you all again. Welcome back. Today we will be looking at Dalgona coffee. As many of you know, Dalgona coffee is a recent craze that has been making its way around the interwebs. It gained its popularity for being this milk drink topped with a sort of luxurious, glistening coffee-flavored foam. And it does make it pretty nice for Instagram pictures as well as videos. The real question is it actually any good? Before we dive in, a quick history lesson. The drink has actually been around for quite some time now. Many say it originated in India, Pakistan, and some say Macau. There, many people just call it whipped coffee, no fancy names, nothing of that sorts. However, it became popular when this actor tasted it in Macau and likened its taste to a Korean snack called, I think, Dalgona? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's supposed to have a toffee honeycomb sort of flavor. Next thing you know, it's all over the internet. All over YouTube, all over Instagram, all over TikTok, and I guess the rest is history. It helps that it's stupidly easy to make, and most of us are stuck at home with nothing much else better to do. So for those wondering, here's how to make it. The recipe is basically just this: 20 grams of water, 20 grams of sugar, and 6 grams of instant coffee. All you have to do is to toss all your ingredients into a bowl, grab a whisk and start whisking it until it forms that foam that you're looking for. Now, depending on how good your flicks of the wrist are, this will take about 3 to 5 minutes. Alternatively, you could use a stand mixer or a handheld electric mixer. All those work just fine and technically would be a lot faster. So back to the question, is it actually any good? The answer is hell no. It's actually pretty disgusting. While the foam does have an interesting texture on its own, taste-wise it is really bad. It's bitter, it's sour, and extremely sweet. Now, it tastes absolutely nothing like honeycomb or caramel or toffee or whatever people are claiming it is. And that's pretty much all it has going for it. Then again, I guess this drink is not too far off from what Starbucks calls coffee. So if you're going for a caffeine high with a side of diabetes, this drink is perfect for you. Now, here are some problems that I see with this beverage. First off, all the recipes are in volumetric, and if you don't know my issue with volumetric measurements, there is a video, so go check that out. Secondly, it can only be as good as its components. Now, there is sugar and water in equal quantities, which is a basic syrup, and you can't really go wrong there. But there's also instant coffee. The thing about instant coffee is that it's made to be instant, not to be good. And I've never actually tasted good instant coffee. And thirdly, there's a lot of sugar and caffeine in this drink. I don't know about you, but if I'm having sugar, I'd rather drink a drink that I enjoy, such as, I guess, Coke, bubble tea. Even Coke Zero tastes better than this, and Coke Zero has no sugar. Now let's get a bit nerdy. What exactly is the science behind all this? Now, the coffee acts as a foaming agent, and the sugar acts as a stabilizer. When you roast coffee, certain compounds called melanoidins are formed. These foaming agents are also known as surfactants. This is what gives you the crema on top of a good espresso. But as some of you would have noticed, crema doesn't last very long so while it does create a foam, it doesn't always create a super stable foam. The thing about a surfactant molecule is that it has a head and a tail. Now, the head of the molecule is hydrophilic and the tail is hydrophobic. That means the head likes water and the tail doesn't like water. Now, if you had only lightly beaten the solution with your whisk, you would have gotten a few large bubbles, but they wouldn't be super stable. By whisking it a lot more, you create many tiny bubbles surrounded by the surfactants. By having many tiny bubbles protected by these, molecules, you create a very stable structure of foam. It also helps that we're doing it in a very viscous solution where it's almost equal water and sugar. So because of that, the flow of drainage is a lot slower and the foam maintains its shape for much longer. Also, this is a foam, not an emulsification. A mayonnaise is an emulsification. This is a foam. Emulsification involves the mixing of two liquids that cannot be completely blended together, such as oil and water. Or, in more sciencey terms, an emulsification is comprised of discontinuous droplets of a liquid suspended in another liquid. On the other hand, a foam consists of discontinuous air bubbles trapped within a liquid. One is a liquid in a liquid, the other is air in a liquid. Therefore, an emulsification generally wouldn't float as well as a foam. This is the case with Dalgona coffee as well. To illustrate this, what we did was we used 3-in-1 coffee instead of instant coffee. The thing about 3-in-1 coffee is that they have ingredients in there used to mimic the addition of milk, and therefore it creates a sort of oil and water solution. As you can see over here, whatever we produced, even though we managed to chill it down to make it more viscous, it just doesn't float very well on milk. Lastly, how can we make it better? There are a number of challenges to consider. Firstly, good espresso, or espresso in general, is just too dilute to create a good foam. Secondly, reducing said espresso on a stove will give you a very bitter, disgusting piece of crap. And thirdly, I have yet to taste good instant coffee. In essence, what you'll need is a good foaming agent as well as good coffee. So off the top of my head, what I can think of is possibly making a French meringue and then maybe flavoring it with coffee. Another solution could be, I guess, using whipping cream, whipping it to stiff peaks, and once again flavoring it with coffee. This, I guess, would be more likely to float on milk because it's more akin to actually foaming the milk using a steam wand. And lastly, you could use a nitrous charger to introduce air into the solution to hopefully make a foam and let it float. But perhaps the simplest solution is to realize going so many extra steps for such a shitty drink may not be worth the effort. You might be better off using the same preparation method while using something else that tastes a lot better to flavor it. So what I can think of, I guess, is Milo, good chocolate, maybe even Nutella? Nutella? Who knows? Realistically, this is something that will require a bit more effort to, I guess, create a tasty drink, and I'm not really sure if I'm willing to go the extra mile to create something so underwhelming. But if you guys think I should experiment a bit more to find a better version of this terrible abomination, then let me know down in the comments. Anyway, that's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, consider subscribing, hit that like button, share with all your friends because it really helps the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.